Well, Zero Tyler is back with my long-awaited Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 review. It's a fun game. It's like, 2 years ago I did the first Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. 2 years later, we finally got a sequel to this game. This came out, well, the digital version came out last month, but here, it was this month, the, the released stores. And yeah. Now, this game felt like um an update of the first one. There are the same characters are in the same game, like SpongeBob, Danny Phantom, Patrick, Garfield, and and others. But there's new characters in the game, like Squidward is in the game now, Plankton is in the game, and Jimmy Neutron, to name a few. Um, Now Mr. Krabs will be in it as a DLC character, which I cannot wait for him to be there. There are some areas that have update. It looks like jellyfish fields and just the Ninja Turtle stuff, and there's basically that. There's bosses in the game, which I'll get to those. But there's also special moves where SpongeBob is probably my favorite one so far. Florid, 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 with Mrs. Puff screaming. Or Patrick's the other one where, that episode of SpongeBob where there was a nematode, Drake, SpongeBob's pineapple. And there was a part in this where Patrick screaming spiders with his eyes closed, which is pretty funny. Um, Regardless, though, let's talk about the bosses. I'm not gonna name all of them, but there's King Jellyfish, the Flying Dutchman. Shredder, unfortunately, is a boss in this game. He's not playable like in the last one where it was DLC, which, who wants to play a Shredder anyways? Vlad is another one. And the final, I'm not gonna name all of them, but I'll tell you who the last boss is by the campaign, which we'll get to. There's also arcade mode and other ones which they're basically the same as the last game, which there's also mini games in the game now. Well, let's get to the main course. I mean, like I said before, the last game did not have a campaign mode or a story mode. Basically, this game does. Now we had not have a main story in a Nickelodeon or Nicktoons game since the Nicktoons trilogy, which it ended in Claws of Doom, which was 15 years ago. Now, the story of this game is SpongeBob and Patrick are just doing their own thing, blowing bubbles. And then there were what was I trying to say? Then the universe gets the open universe. Patrick gets adopted by this mysterious man, Vlad. You see there. And SpongeBob tries to find Patrick, which you did, and they have the Krabby Patty ring in the game, which is yeah. And then you get past King Jellyfish, and then Vlad comes out and from that star portal. I'm gonna say star portal, where you're saved by Clockwork, which is another character from Danny Phantom, by the way, who came in by the season 2 episode of The Ultimate Enemy, which is, yeah. And then Vlad is taking over the world, quotation mark, but we don't know who was doing this. But anyways, you have to save the other ones from Vlad's control, which you get to the other boss, the Flying Dutchman. not going through every boss. However, there's some people you could talk to, like Mrs. Puff, by the way, and Hugh Neutron, who was a DLC character in this game, but at least Jimmy is in this game. Also, there are some. If you have Jimmy Neutron talk to his father, they do interact with each other, or SpongeBob or Patrick interact with Mrs. Puff, but you can't do that also. Or Danny Phantom can confront Vlad also. So there's that. Now there are 3 Vlad boss fights. If you beat him first, it was a clone. If you beat him again, the computer malfunctions, and then you have to do it again for the 3rd time, and you beat him the 3rd time. And this is all led to, Clockwork being the final boss. And you beat Clockwork, and all the universes are saved. And yeah, that's how this is all. The game ends. The game mode ends. For disclosure, use SpongeBob or Patrick for the entire mode, because SpongeBob is like the best character in this game, because he has that clapping attack, and that's the only way you have to win it. The bosses in the game are actually fun. But there's this whole endurance thing, which is you have to beat a bunch of enemies in the game, which they get really annoying quickly. If you enter another chapter in the campaign mode from that, but basically, there are voice actors in the game, which is a plus for me. And like I said before, there are going to be DLC characters like Mr. Krabs coming in, and Plankton is in the game so at least that's a good thing. This game is amazing. Only thing I did not give it, I give it an 8 out of 10. I don't know what I gave the last one, but yeah, it's SpongeBob ended the year with the Cosmic Shake, and he's ending the year with Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. I mean, make it go back. The story it's not like the Nicktoons trilogy. It's a completely different story, which, yeah. But we can guarantee you that sooner or later we'll see Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 3. I mean, this game, I highly enjoyed it. It's great to have Squidward and Plankton in the game, but however, Sandy is not in this game. It's like Nicktoons Attack the Toy Bots. Like, she was in the first 2 games, but she wasn't in the last 2 games. Okay, whatever. And I know I have all the Ninja Turtles also, which is kind of like, just put all the Ninja Turtles in the game, for God's sakes. Anyways. So, this is going to be my last video game review for the year. I know there was not one for November because I wanted to wait to get this. So, regardless, tomorrow I'll do my Raw review. And, I'll also, my secondary channel, you will see, Starcade 1993 also, and then Wednesday will be the last showdown before Revenge, which is next week. So, you'll see that anyways. Like this video, comment down below if you're new to this channel right here, my main channel, and my secondary channel, Tyler's Retro Reviews. Subscribe to both of them, and click the notification bell so you can get more video uploads like Starcade 93 on the secondary channel, that is. And there. Bye.